Annyeonghaseyo, this is meowmurai. Let's check out No Man's Sky running on Nintendo Switch 2. Maybe? Can I? Oh, okay. That's right. I have to use the pointer for this. How weird that they don't even incorporate the D-pad. Oh, I had to hold stuff. Again, very strange. I had to hold the button. Okay, I think that's fine. We didn't make any changes. Frame rate lock. Base complexity limits defaults the number of base parts visible. I think that's fine as well. I don't know about this frame rate lock. What is the actual frame rate it's locking to? Can I choose what it locks to? Apparently not. Apparently it's just like, yeah, we're just gonna lock it. It's on a need to know basis. This field of view is 75. That's pretty rough. Oh, hey, Mr. Flame. I mean, I'm used to like 105. Here, actually, let's just do 100. I mean, 75 is just way too close. Camera shake. Not a super fan of the camera shake. Oh, I hit apply and it didn't apply. That's awesome. Oh, not too bad at work. Not too bad. I am always completely and utterly devoid of any free time. It's pretty much work as soon as I sit down at the desk, and the only time I don't get to work is when I go to sleep. Other than that, it's fine. How about you? How you doing? Okay, normal, relaxed, custom, creative, survival, community. I guess we'll start normal. I'm probably gonna regret that. All right, let's see how this looks. Obviously, it was kind of rough on the Switch 1, although functional, right? I mean, you could do stuff, but it certainly wasn't the best place to play No Man's Sky. So hopefully, Switch 2 will alleviate some of this. Get a little bit of loading. Yes, begin initialization. Thank you. Are you sure you want to start the game? Are you really sure? Better hold down this button if you want to play this game. Actually doesn't look too bad so far. And it's just the clouds.
Aerial propulsion jetpack online. Multi-tool and mining laser attachment operational. User initialization sequence complete.
Yes, yeah, this game was pretty rough when it first released, back in 2016. But they've had a number of expansions of this game which have basically made the game feel much more complete. Perform a scan. Find sodium, huh? Scanner is a personal surface radar device. It releases a high energy pulse that reveals any critical survival resources in the immediate area. Gather ferrite dust for repairs. Oh, okay. I can already see that maybe I want to unlock this frame rate. Yeah, let's disable this. Yeah, let's just let the frame rate run wild. We're playing on the Switch 2, so it should be fine. Scanner is critically damaged. I mean, every game is going to be different, right? It's all procedurally generated, so you're never going to have the same experience twice. Some things will be similar, but not exactly the same. Yeah, this is a dramatically different looking game than when it first launched. Even outside of this being a Switch 1. I mean, this is nowhere near the same game that we played, so many years ago. How am I supposed to identify the stuff I need if my scanner's broken? Yeah, it's true. I mean, the game is designed for just like a continuous number of things to do, but I think there's only a few things that actually have a time limit, so you can pretty much go about everything as casually as you want to. Which is good for me. I mean, I don't necessarily want to play a game like this where I'm gathering resources and building bases and exploring the universe, and then just be slapped with a time limit constantly. I've only got 2 ferrite dust. Well, apparently all the stuff I'm shooting is not what I need. But the scanner doesn't work. Therefore, I have a hard time figuring out how to gather ferrite dust. Must be all these little green things then. Interesting conundrum. You need ferrite dust. However, you cannot identify ferrite dust. I just keep shooting stuff until open charge depleted. Oh, okay. Now I need to recharge. Where's my ship? Recharge equipment. Mining tool. We're going to use carbon for that. Didn't I say I wanted subtitles? Where are all the subtitles? Are there not subtitles in the game? I mean, I guess not. Kind of a weird thing not to include. Okay, repair scanner. Scanner. Repair.
Repaired. Technology repaired.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say. I mean, the game's only going for like $25 right now, which is why, you know, it was okay for me to have it as an impulse buy. Yeah, I don't know about paying $60 for this. I mean, that might be a stretch for this one, even though there's a lot to do.
Radiation protection falling.
I remember the default being first person only. It's interesting that the default now is third person. Hydrogen, I want to look for sodium. Harvest sodium from small yellow plants. Yeah, for $25. I mean, that's well worth $25. I mean, even if you only play 20 hours, that's still pretty good for like a
Radiation damage detected.
still pretty good for a for $25. I certainly wasted my money on things that were not $25. Recharge hazard protection. Okay.
Technology recharge. Starship signal detected.
Distress signal. Am I not the one in distress? I mean, if you liked Pal World and Ark, I think this is probably something that you'd like as well. Although, you know, it's kind of hard to say. Every game has their own little twist. Some games drive you really crazy, depending on what it is. Like, I like a game where there's a lot of things to do, but not too many things. Like, if there's too many things, then I end up feeling like I'm under pressure to do everything at the same time. And sometimes the game will pressure you to do that as well. Warframe, yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe. Personally, for me, that was like Phantasy Star Online too. Where it's like, there's just too much. It's too much. I just want to go around and shoot things. Boundary separation failure likely. Vessel 16 emptied. Cause Sentinel intervention. Deliberate transfer. Analysis. Fresh iteration generated. Anomaly containment prepared. Broadcast received. Traveler anomaly detected. Anomaly is compliant. Position log. System integrity scan initialized.
Radiation protection falling. Technology recharge.
Atlas connection intermittent. Launch thrusters offline. Pulse engine offline. I find myself alone on a strange world, unequipped and in danger. I have no memory of how I got here, no sense of a before. But the ship at least seems to recognize me. The controls react to my touch, or at least that of my exosuit. I am not dead yet, and this ship is a lifeline out to the stars. Log 4925A unavailable. Substituting data. Exosuit connected. Suggestion: pilot should perform maintenance. Select desired repair path. Repair ship systems. Self-guided repair protocols initiated. Hermetic seal and metal plating. Provide space and atmospheric flight propulsion. System highly damaged and requires metal plating and a hermetic seal to repair. Repair pulse engine, metal plating, metal plating. Okay. What do I need? Residual goop. Ferrite dust.
Protection falling.
Wasn't that this stuff? Yeah, it was this stuff. Craft metal plating to repair pulse engine. Where's my crafting? Let's see. Minus to access your inventory, use A to craft in empty slots. Oh, I'd be close to this thing? Is that the idea? I mean, it's not very good at telling you what to do. Maybe that's part of what's appealing to it, but I don't know, when you're first starting out, you kind of want to know what to do.
Component prepared.
Okay, we gotta get the diagnostics. Starship critically damaged, vital ingredients missing. Unable to synthesize required components. Pulse engine requires hermetic seal. Let's see. Iteration comparison reveals hermetic seal nearby. Salvage planetary chart from distress beacon cache. Yeah, I vaguely remember this. Appear inside the beacon's housing, as well as its distress broadcast unit. It contains a planetary chart. I mean, it was like 2016. That was a long time ago. Let's see what this game was released. Take planetary chart. Open inventory to view data, highlight the chart, and use Y to plot a route.
Navigational data received.
A little Assassin's Creed moment there, huh?
Radiation protection void.
I remember it telling you how to do stuff more, though. I wonder if they just decided to tone that down a little bit to help people discover more stuff. It does look good. It does look nice. I think it's nicer when you unlock the frame rate instead of leaving it at 30. I mean, yeah, the frame rate's going to bounce up and down every once in a while. But at least you get some highs instead of just constantly being at a low. You quit playing after you fix the ship? Well, thankfully, I don't think the game is going to crash after you fix the ship. I do remember managing to get to a space station when I first played this, and I think that's when I stopped.
Weather warning. Incoming storm.
Oh, these guys leaving me here.
Technology recharge.
Seek shelter in caves and buildings.
Protection.
Where? I don't see a cave. I don't see a building.
Radiation protection falling. Technology recharge. Radiation protection falling.
Well, I can find a cave or a building. It's like, where? There's no cave or building out here.
Radiation protection falling. Weather update. Storm clearing. Technology recharge. Radiation protection falling.
Oh, maybe you can make adjustments to your webcam then. To have it broadcast at a higher frequency. I actually bought like a 4K webcam, but of course, I'm only broadcasting. The resolution on the cam is only like 640 by 480. Because it made no sense to have the cam be at 4K when my picture isn't even at 4K. Parrot, I need goop. Accessing archive. 6 of 7 logs created. Or corrupted. Entry follows. No one making this recording in case leaving behind the fabricator might be of use. Visor damaged. Can't find ship. Log finishes and the machine roars to life, spitting out supplies. I have the hermetic seal I need to repair my ship. Yeah. If you lose the overlays, I mean... Yeah, 4K on YouTube is real troublesome. I used to do that too. I used to pre-record everything and then load it up. And then at some point in time, YouTube banned me from uploading. Because they were going through a couple years where they wanted to promote streaming. And so all of us that were just gaming uploaders, we had to become gaming streamers. Not all of us, right? There's just like a certain criteria you had to meet to become a gaming streamer. So then I had to start streaming, which meant the quality went down. Right, I couldn't do 4K anymore. I couldn't do 4K HDR. So then I had to relegate myself to 1080p 60. I'd prefer to do 1080p 120 or maybe 1440p 120, but Twitch doesn't support it. So lowest common denominator is Twitch. Well, actually, lowest common denominator is Facebook Gaming because they only do 720p. But I don't upload to them as much. I basically only do arcade archives to Facebook or to a Facebook Gaming. Other than that, I don't want to have to spend a lot of time downloading a video and uploading a video and downloading a video and uploading a video for the 30 people in the Philippines that are watching. Whoever it was that led me here, whoever left this message, perhaps they found themselves in the same situation as I do now. Well, I hope they found themselves in a better situation than me. I mean,
Radiation protection stabilizing.
encrypted navigation data. The Analysis Visor is a planetary exploration device that locates and highlights nearby points of interest. It can also be used to analyze flora, fauna, and minerals. Analysis results in commercially valuable data as well as revealing additional sources. Required parts: carbon nanotubes. Yeah, Twitch is like the competition for Twitch is specifically gaming. So, unless you have like a certain kind of personality and you're always active on social media, then yeah, it is kind of harder to get recognized. That's why I really don't work for Twitch. Whereas YouTube, the return is better, right? So you're making more money on YouTube. As far as your views is concerned, and you know this, I don't know why I'm explaining this to you, but this is maybe for everybody else who doesn't do streaming. But then, if you have a community that's doing a lot of donations, right, subscriptions and bits and stuff, then that is more active on Twitch. So like the user interaction is higher on Twitch, but the actual amount you get for earning is higher on, or for views is higher on YouTube. So it's kind of weird, Yeah. I mean, I'm like, basically like 50 hours away from being monetized. But I'm trying not to make monetization the focus on this, because I just run a very weird channel, and I tend to be a chill. I tend to be a chill stream. Open the inventory slot with minus to install the analysis visor. Select an empty multi-tool slot with A to install the analysis visor.
Technology installed.
See, analysis visor status uninstalled. Insert every subcomponent to finalize the installation. I need carbon nanotubes. I think the worst part is of the 11,000 videos, I actually lost. I actually lost about 8,000 or so videos because at some point in time YouTube had some confusion about my name, and so I just lost a lot of old content that I used to, which is fine because the old content is not great. So it's probably better that I lost that content. I wasn't like ever super happy about how I started, which I think is how a lot of people feel when they have a YouTube channel. But it is kind of a shame that I lost all that stuff. When I was playing like Conquer when the 360 first came out. I mean, it is what it is though. Oh, sorry, Xbox One. Let's see, carbon acquired. We're gonna craft that. Yes. And then analysis visor subcomponent installed. Okay. Analyze objects for valuable rewards. You don't say. Valuable rewards. Yeah, so I just want to put out content that's a little bit different than most other YouTube channels, covering games that aren't necessarily covered by a lot of other channels as well. I can't tell you how many times somebody has, commented to me or messaged me about a game which only I have covered, or I've covered extensively, or that they were looking for a solution to a game which nobody seemed to have any content on, and they managed to find my channel. So that's kind of where I am in my niche. Which is not necessarily a moneymaker for YouTube, right? Yeah, I mean, chat is cool. I mean, don't get me wrong. When the user base is this small, chat's really nice. It's the only real problem is when the user base becomes like really large, and then chat becomes unmanageable. Then you have to have mods to moderate chat. I think that's when it sort of becomes less fun. But I mean, people love engaging. Yeah, I mean, people love to be able to talk about stuff that that you're playing, or just whatever's going on through the day. And in my case, I really don't like harshly judge anybody. So, so if you want to talk about things that are maybe a little stranger, or maybe if I want to bring up something that's a little stranger, I think perfectly fine. There are limits, of course, but if it's gaming related, I'd love to hear about it. Yeah, there were a lot of games in the 16-bit era, 32-bit era, which I really feel were undeservedly passed over. Like any of those Shadow Hearts games. Absolutely love Shadow Hearts. All of the games, even Kodelka, which is not really a good game. But if you want to find a playthrough of it, one with commentary that's not necessarily filled with a lot of filler, I think it's really difficult. Because I was looking for that stuff too. Like I would go look for a playthrough of Shadow Hearts, and I couldn't find anybody that was doing it that I liked. And then that's when I said to myself, well, maybe I should just do this in the way that I like it to be done. So that's why you see me play like a lot of these really oddball games, because I think they deserve an audience. Yeah, the Supreme Tacos. Yeah, I mean the taco story was just funny because I'm like, I just wanted the one thing which I didn't get. I know everybody can relate to that. I mean, right now I'm covering Switch2, which I think a lot of people are curious about. But maybe they can't afford it because of the price, or maybe they're not ready to jump into the Switch2. And I'm not really finding like a lot of comprehensive walkthroughs on the Switch2. I see like a 10-minute video on something like No Man's Sky, but that doesn't really tell me about the game. Oh, oh, okay. Wow, that's not. This is not a good place to be. How in the world did I manage to get myself into the spider egg cavern? Oh my god. This is a thing that you can easily avoid, and somehow I managed to find myself in it. I always wonder about people who don't like tacos. Like, how can you not like a taco? That's just like not liking life, you know? It's like, I think you just ran into the wrong tacos. Or like somebody not like not being into fish tacos. It's like I'm pretty sure you just had just bad fish versus a bad fish taco, right? Like a fish taco not being a good thing. It's a great thing. But yes, it's easy to make a bad fish taco. That I will agree with. Can I crouch? I can't remember if I can crouch or not. Maybe not. Why did I end up here? Oh no. Suikoden, I just played the beginning part of it, yeah. Like I didn't go through the full game. That was sort of like my preview video. Although they do have Suikoden 2 on the Switch. I think it's the Switch 2 version too, which baffles me. I don't know what you would I don't know what extra thing needed to be done to get it to run on Switch 2. Oh yeah, I absolutely love Suikoden. I actually think Suikoden 6 is my favorite. Or maybe it's Suikoden 5. I don't know. I have the disc in my well, I used to have the disc in my media room, but now I've moved. So I don't know where the disc is now. It's in a box somewhere, which I have to unpack. But yeah, and that was the one with the sun, like the sun goddess nation. Offer food. I don't have any food though. Creature pellets. Oh, okay. Well, didn't like that apparently. I do want to play through them though. Yeah, I do want to play through Suikoden 1 and 2 again. Just like I do eventually want to play through Tony Hawk 3 and 4. Even though they weren't really my go-to games when I was growing up. I still do want to actually try them again. Maybe give them a chance. Yeah, where am I? I just ended up in an unknown cave. I can't jetpack my way out of here either. I mean, this place looks scary, you know? Looks like it's completely dangerous. This would be like in the forest, you know? When you just wake up in a cave, you know, in the body pit of all the man-eating creatures. That was quite the detour. I didn't want to start shooting this stuff, or else, you know, A mama creature would come after me. But I don't think there's anything like that in this part of the game. Not in the intro. Yeah, this is where I fell. God, that was a long way to walk around. Yeah, I think the good thing about Suikoden is that it's just 20 hours. I mean, max 20 hours. That's if you do absolutely everything. So, you know, we can get through that in, you know, a week and a half. Or so. Well, for me, more like a month. Yeah, Visions of Mana, I did start playing that. I think a lot of people are down on Visions of Mana. Like, I think it's pretty good. But I think fans of the, you know, longtime fans of the series, you know, thought it was a little disappointing. Like, the story is a little disappointing. Although I would argue that everybody's favorite Secret of Mana, you know, Secret of Mana 2, I mean, that also had a very weak story. I mean, it was a Super Nintendo game, you know. It just wasn't going to be super deep unless it was called Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest or Ultima. Although the Ultima games weren't very good on the Super Nintendo. But they ran better than they did on my PC at the time, so I played them there. What is this eyeball thing? Get some carbon out of it. Yeah, maybe Visions came out at a bad time. Like, there might have been too many other competing games at the time. But I mean, the visuals are amazing. I mean, the game looks really crisp. And the gameplay is fun. I mean, the combat's fun. Maybe there's nothing necessarily special about it, but I think it's a very well-made, competent game. Vital launch and landing gear system. System is highly damaged and requires dihydrogen jelly and pure ferrite to repair. Construct a portable refiner to process pure ferrite. Let's see, refines transform simple materials. Refined materials hold more charge. Advanced technologies require more refined materials. Repair status. Oh yeah, I knew you were talking about Dragon Quest. Yeah. Okay, deploy portable refinery. I need to collect more dihydrogen. God, I thought I'd been collecting a lot of that.
Radiation protection falling.
Yeah, even then, I would say like the early Dragon Quests, Dragon Quest 1 and 2, like they didn't have like a particularly good story. I think it was only when Dragon Quest 3 came around that, you know, plot and characters meant something. Other than that, then Dragon Quest was at least at the time, just a very simple copy of Ultima. Things got better though. I mean, so they didn't stay a copy for that long. Grease the thruster with dihydrogen jelly.
Component repaired.
Repair the launch thrusters, pure ferrite. God, again, I thought I collected a lot of this stuff. Yeah, I think I really have liked Dragon Quest since Dragon Quest. Well, maybe I'm with you on that one since Dragon Quest V. I think 7's when I started really liking them. The one on PlayStation 1. The one that was like 400 hours. Or I mean, it felt like 400 hours, but it was really like 130 hours. More ferrite dust.
Radiation protection falling.
But yeah, Dragon Quest 1 through 4, I think are fairly simple games because they were on the NES. But yeah, when 5 came around for the Super Nintendo, I mean, it was a dramatically different game. We'll see if they continue to make the HD 2D Dragon Quests. Hopefully they'll do that. I thought I saw some salt around here. Oh, there it is. I do kind of wish they would get away from the whole marching band music. I mean, I know it's traditional, but listening to too much of it can really get to you. Or at least to me, just makes me want to, you know, murder the tuba player. Say, stop that. I have nightmares about that tuba player. I'd say I hate the trombone player, but then they released the trombone champion, and now I kind of like the trombone. When it's played badly, at least. Then it's hilarious. Hopper for storing materials generated by the refinery. What's the input? See, collect carbon or condense carbon. Oh. I need 380. And I have 80. So I'm a little short. Shin Megami Tensei 5. Yeah, I think Megami Tensei is really good. But it is very much a classic RPG. I mean, SMT really hasn't changed much from its Super Nintendo origins. So it is a lot of fighting and stat building. I think that might turn off the modern player if they're not used to classic RPGs. But if you are into that, then it's really deep. There's like a lot of stuff to it. The plot's really good. I really liked it. But most of the gameplay is menu-based combat. and then crafting monsters. And if you play the newest iteration, whatever the complete edition is, then the game is harder. Like if you want to pick the harder difficulty, it is a harder game to play now. But you don't necessarily have to do that, right? You can pick the normal scenario. Yeah. Okay. Well, then, yeah, the game is for you then for sure.
Technology recharge.
I need more ferrite. Okay, it's a ferrite gathering sim. Plus that art style. I mean, that's Atlus's best series, in my opinion. I know some people are going to say Persona, but you know, they only release a Persona game every 6 years, and then every year that they release one afterwards, it's you know, complete edition, DLC, complete edition, dancing version. You know, I mean, they release. There are so many Persona 5s, and now they're doing Persona 4s. It's like, oh, come on, guys. Are you going to make a new game or what? Yeah. At least with Shin Megami Tensei, they release one version and then they release another version, a complete version with all the DLC, and that's it. There's no Shin Megami Tensei dancing, Shin Megami Tensei mystery investigation. You know, Shin Megami Tensei, semi-complete version. You know, Shin Megami Tensei. You know, I mean, there's none of that like they do with Persona. Alright, repair launch thrusters.
Component repaired. Technology repaired.
I should take this thing with me. I mean, it was kind of a pain to make. I was going to leave it here. Oh, I was about to say, yeah, let's collect the portable refinery. Let's take off. This is the best part of this game. You build your ship and you just fly straight up and leave and then explore. Not like Starfield, where it's like you just, click on points. You just click on points in the map, and then you have a cinema where you travel. I was like, does that feel like exploration? Not really. Test the thruster. Well, I don't really need to test the flight thruster because that's how I got here. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Starship communicator. Incoming transmission. Please identify yourself. I'm identify myself. You are not alone. Follow the zzz. The broadcast ends as strangely as it began. The final piece of the signal appears to be a set of planetary coordinates.
Alert. Navigational data received.
Yes, that's true. Persona and SMT have they share the same artist, or the same set of artists. But yes, SMT is more about the combat, the build, the gathering and the merging of monsters, and just getting, better and better stats to fight harder and harder enemies. And Persona is sort of more about building relationships and solving whatever subplot the game has. So there's like a little bit more to a Persona game. And, you have to it usually involves being in a school and managing a class schedule, which I don't know why you'd want to play a game where you have to do the same thing that you do in real life. But there, say it'll be. Everybody's a little different, right? See, this is the really cool stuff. I mean, just launching into space and then landing down on the planet, and then you just do resource gathering. I think if there's one thing that's really disappointing about this game, if you're not into the resource gathering and building, it's just that. It's just you're just going around shooting your laser everywhere and gathering stuff. I mean, that's the core of the gameplay. I mean, you're shooting your laser and gathering stuff in order to build all that cool stuff that you want to use and see. External temperature is minus 76 Fahrenheit. Seems rather cold.
Thermal protection falling.
You build the rover. Yeah, I know there's like a ton of stuff that you can build. The white on white text is maybe not a great decision. Great decision.
Technology recharge. Technology recharge. Thermal protection falling.
Pass required? Well, sorry, I don't have one of those. Like I said, the white background on white text, I probably wouldn't have made that decision. Follow direction indicators to locate your target. This target sweep will pinpoint mission locations. Will it? So far, all it's doing is pointing me back to my ship. Ooh, went crazy with the bloom. Like that, I can't even see anything. Souls games? Oh, no, I like Souls games. I do play them a lot. I don't necessarily like Souls games from FromSoft. Like, I think they're just okay, they tend to bother me in their mechanics. But no, you know, I plan on playing Lies of P here soon. And, you know, Stellar Blade I love. Although you can debate whether or not that's a Souls-like. You know, played a lot of Rise of the Ronin, played a lot of Neo. See, the sparking wires of the machine generate a signal, tapping out its broadcast into the void. Whoever left the message is long gone. Decipher the signal. Decoding. No fuel. Failed to reach station. Hazard protection low. No choice but to underground. Destroyed base computer, or deployed base computer. As well as the log entry, the signal contains plans for a base computer and a terrain manipulator. With any luck, the base computer will hold more information about whoever is leaving these messages. Extract plans. Let's see. Portable Land Registration Service. When placed, contacts Universal Cartographic Archive to establish ownership of land. Successful registration allows the construction of base modules across any site of the user's choosing. Train manipulator. Advanced terraforming device. This module overloads existing multi-tool systems, allowing the user to reshape regions as they wish, charged with metallic elements, carbonandite and dihydrogen jelly. Yeah, I tend to complain about actual Souls games, you know, the ones from FromSoft. Because I always feel that those are the most overrated games. Yeah, isn't it weird that we're getting like a couple Ninja Gaidens now? Now we're getting Ninja Gaiden 4. Right, the 3D one. And then we're getting like a new 2D Ninja Gaiden made by the same guys who made, what was it? No, I can't remember what it was. Yeah, like I don't have any interest in Night Rain. I mean, Night Rain is, number one, it only uses recycled assets from Elden Ring, among some of their other games as well. And then it's multiplayer focused, which means online. And FromSoft has never made good netcode. I mean, if you play the Elden Ring multiplayer mode, it's just you teleporting to another player who teleports across to you. And then things like, you know, parries and counters, I mean, they don't really work because all the frame rate's all janky. So it's like, then FromSoft decided to double down. And it's like, well, now we're going to make a multiplayer only game with all of the bad netcode and a bad engine, which can't seem to stay at one frame rate for any more than 1 second at a time. It's like, why are you guys doing this? You're not good at this. You know, you're good at making single player games, you know. You know, stop trying to do this multiplayer stuff, you know. I don't know why gamers. I don't know why gamers give them a pass too. It's like, I mean, you know, they did earn it. Like FromSoft has been around for a while, so it's not like they're just like a brand new company where everybody loves them. You know, they've been making good and bad games over the years. You know, ever since the PlayStation 1, right? But then, like, as soon as the Souls games became more popular, as soon as Dark Souls became popular, then even like all of the bad things that they do and all of the mistakes that they make. Like people act like they're on purpose. It's like, oh no, it's not supposed to run smooth, or you know, it's not supposed to be reliable. Or it's like I don't even know what you're talking about. What are you doing?
Technology installed.
Gather hydrogen.
Thermal protection falling.
But yeah, really love Wolong. Wolong was good. Was good times. Yeah, Bloodborne. I mean, I agree with you on Bloodborne probably being their best effort. Um, although honestly, I actually like I like Sekiro the most. But I'm like a parry-based person, so I like a game. I like a game with a lot of parrying. Yeah, Sekiro and Bloodborne are probably the best, and then like in between all the Dark Souls, like there's various things I like about them, but I don't like it about other. Like I don't like them as individual games, but I like them kind of as a whole. Like I like the world and the navigation in Dark Souls One, but the gameplay is pretty chunky. Like I like how big the world became in Dark Souls 2. But all the AI is super stupid, and the balance between I don't know, just the combat just didn't feel good, right? The Dark Souls 3, like I love the art, and it seems like it seems like that's a real sequel to Dark Souls 1, but at the same time, for whatever reason, it doesn't feel as nice as Dark Souls 1, even though it's just an upgrade of Dark Souls 1. I don't know, that one's kind of hard to explain, but yeah, I do think it's funny that it's a company that has been making like these dark fantasy games. Like they've really made a name for themselves. Really since Kingsfield, they made a name for themselves on all these dark fantasy games. And then the game that they seem to be the most passionate about, that they spent the most time on and getting the performance just right, getting the backstory and like the scenery right, was Sekiro. Was the game based on Japanese folklore. It's like they've been working this entire time, making this sort of these Western style environments, and then the only thing that's not janky is the one that takes place in Japan. It's like they can't help themselves, got a little nationalism going on there or something. Honestly, their best performing game is the Demon Souls remake, but Blue Point made that game. so, so like the game that has the absolute best performance is not their game.
Technology recharge. Thermal protection falling.
I'm sure From Software fans hate to hear that. They get real funky and defensive about a company they have no relation with outside of just playing some of their games. Yeah. Yeah, Dragon's Dogma. Unfortunately, I think the technology behind Dragon's Dogma is just not quite right because it doesn't really run well under any conditions. But the game itself, like the core game, is cool. I mean, I think they did a good job with that. Even though they didn't really change much from Dragon's Dogma 1, they just got it to look better and run a little a little bit better. Gather copper. Okay, why don't we stop it there for now? This is meowmurai. You've been watching No Man's Sky running on Nintendo Switch 2. Yeah, this is a good version. Now, is it as good as a version as like the PlayStation 5 or maybe the Xbox Series or your PC? It absolutely is not as good as those versions. It definitely has some performance issues. You can lock the frame rate at 30 frames, but I don't know. I feel like I'm okay with the variable frame rate because you do hit nice highs and lows. And something about playing this game in 30 frames doesn't feel right. It feels kind of muddy, at least in my opinion. I do think the visuals are good. Certainly better than if you're playing on PlayStation or on Switch 1. So it is an upgrade in that sense, and you're getting all of the same great gameplay that No Man's Sky is now. So I do suggest that people pick it up. And again, it's right now during its launch week. I think it's good till like the 15th. It's only for like $25, right? Plus tax if you have sales tax. So yeah, it's worth playing. I don't know how much we're gonna play in the middle of all the other games that came out for the Switch 2. I mean, there's so many games. Not to mention all the games that get patch improvements, performance improvements. I mean, there's just like lots of stuff that's available for the Switch 2. And even if you're playing old games, you have something to look forward to. But yeah, we'll play more of this and check out more. Maybe this is something I'll play more offline than online. I'm not sure how much people are into watching me construct things in space. But yeah, check it out for yourself and take advantage of the sale while it's still available. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream. And yeah, it's good seeing you, Mr. Flame. Hopefully we'll talk again.